So first of all, I'd like to say hello and welcome to my channel. Second of all, I'd like to say that this video is going to be about where I am in Flat Earth, Globe Earth, why I believe it's flat, and my explanations for that. So, I originally came to Flat Earth because I thought gravity isn't real. And if gravity isn't real, then you can't be stuck upside down into a ball. So then I started to think, well, if gravity isn't real, then why do things fall? So then I started to think, well, things fall because of density. So what's the difference between hydrogen and helium and everything else? Pretty much density. So more dense down, less dense up. I made a video on that, and I stick by that video to an extent. So density does definitely play a part. Buoyancy definitely does not play a part because gravity is not a force, so buoyancy cannot be the opposing force to gravity, because gravity isn't a force. It can be thought of as a force, but it isn't a force. So buoyancy doesn't exist, it's just density. Or relative density, I suppose, as I say. So then, why do I think it's flat? Water always finds level, level's horizontal. So, flat Earth. I know Ball is saying no, level's conforming to the curvature of the Earth. And the water bends because gravity acts on each individual molecule, pulling down each individual molecule. But that doesn't work because then the moon would be pulling each individual molecule and not the mass of the sea as a whole. So then the gravity of the moon would be acting on a small mass of molecules, each individually, instead of it as a whole. So, no. There is, I think, definitely a downward acceleration. Because, this is hard to explain, but you've got like the 9.8 meters per second squared in the vacuum, and that number comes from somewhere. It falls at that rate for a reason. I'm not sure of that reason. To me, density could attract density, and there's something very dense underneath us. But I don't know. The ether, the luminiferous ether, could possibly be some kind of incoherent magnetism. Shout out Globusters. But yeah, ether and some incoherent magnetism, maybe. I don't know. The ether is some incoherent magnetism, maybe. They shout out Bob for 15-degree rotation, but they never actually asked his side. I asked his side, and after that show he did another test and he got more than 15 degrees with elevation. So it doesn't work on the globe. So they say, well, Bob's wrong because airplanes have these gyros in them and they pick up the 15-degree drift, but the gyros are meant to pick up rotation of what they're on, I believe, or I'm not even sure, but if it can pick up the air, then it can pick up an ether. If it picks up where it's on, then it won't pick up the air, because even if you want to say the air is spinning with the same momentum as the Earth and friction's causing that, and the air doesn't actually move the same speed, it's always plus or minus tangential velocity, so I just can't see it being Earth rotation, and then it'd have to be like 15 degrees. Sorry, pardon me, 15 degrees in each axis. So because it's rotating all at the same. So I haven't actually got something right now that I can use, but if you rotate it, then it should be picking up 15 degrees in each axis. So yeah, and he said he was picking up more with elevation, so possibly aether, possibly incoherent magnetism. That could be the aether. But Einstein didn't actually abolish the aether. Einstein kept the aether, but they changed the name to space-time, I believe. Space-time, all space-time is position and time, so they can see where something is, they can locate it from A to B, point A to B, point B to C, and then they can see how long it took to travel, and then they know the speed, they can work out the speed and the distance, and then they can predict where it's going to be in the future. That's all that is. They keep looking for this graviton, but they haven't found it yet. I think this graviton could be that density particle, but not density particle, but the very minute scale. But I'm not sure. So people ask, why do things float in the sky? Could be so many reasons. I did think alternating currents. So a form of magnetism, but with alternating currents, and it causes things to levitate. But people said they would be able to detect that, so probably not. I have thought maybe, because we know sound waves can levitate things, and they've apparently sent these probes up there, and they can hear like sounds coming off planets and things. So maybe there's sound waves up there. Well, not necessarily waves because there's no medium to travel through, but maybe there is a medium, kind of, or a field, and these frequencies cause interactions with this field and cause them to levitate and move. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Yeah. So sunsets, as the sun gets closer, so distance-wise, as it gets closer, it appears higher in the sky, so it's sunrise. As it starts to get further away in distance, it appears to lower in the sky, sunset. So, yeah. Jeranism. Everybody always talks about this Jeranism experiment as well on the Netflix. So, like, they had 17 feet and 17 feet or something, and they were shining through the two holes, and he had to lift his light up to be seen, and that apparently proves curvature. Now, from my point of view, how I see is things lower with distance. So, being that things lower with distance, they're no longer going to be the same level as things lower with distance. So, he's going to need to lift it higher because things appear lower. So let's say this one's appearing lower with distance. He's going to need to lift it higher to then be seen. So that's my answer to the Jeranism, to the Jeranism proof curvature. Globebusters and Jeranism. So, yeah. I've done research into gravity and gravimeters and all these things, but I haven't actually found the proof of gravity. I haven't found the proof of globe. There's some things that make me question flat Earth though, and if any flat earthers do know the questions, I'd be, happy to hear them. So things like how the moon illuminates, and there's another one, the 2-star rotations. So I do have some theories on the 2-star rotations myself, but I haven't fully looked into them to see whether they're possible or not, but if you could give me the answers, like explanations or suggestions or ideas to how the moon illuminates, then that'd be great. I'd be grateful, because that's what I'm struggling to answer. Yeah, Taboo Conspiracy did a great video recently with the what it means to be a flat earther, and he made some great points in there, so I suggest checking out that video, because he made some great points which I agree with and that don't seem possible on the globe model. So so I suggest checking him out. Yeah. So I don't really know what else to say, as I haven't really got anything planned. I just spitballing off the top of my head, thinking. But yeah, Antarctica, I don't believe there's an ice wall around the edge. Possibly it might be an ice wall, but I just don't believe it's Antarctica. As for the North Pole being in the middle, I don't think it is. I'm trying to work on my own map to try and see whether I can make it work and, you know, get the distances to match up and kind of, you know, hopefully once and for all now. Because it's been going on a long time, this looking into the globe or the flat earth, and I still don't know. I think it's flat. It seems flat. It appears flat. The curve, I mean, they say you can see, like, you see like 3 miles at eye level, and you go up in elevation and then you can see more. But that's like the curves, you know, going linear, linear almost. It's like it should drop more, not see more. And people have tried to explain that to me, but like Team Skeptic, shout out Team Skeptic. But yeah, it just seems illogical that, you know, you can see the curve's like 3 miles away, and then it starts to curve 3 miles away, but it can go up and it's more flat. And then you've got Mage. I mean, shout out to Mr. Sensible as well. That was hats off to you for the experiment, because the observation, demonstration, whatever, because, you know, that takes a lot of effort, a lot of planning, and I think you did a great job, to be fair. So my own issues is it's all optical, so obviously everything is optical, but the fact that it shows flat curve, flat curve, flat curve, like, not just constantly curve, makes me question. Because, like, if it was just curved, then it should stay curved. It shouldn't go flat after being curved if it was already curved at a lower altitude. So yeah, that makes me question things that I can't take it as evidence, because it's just optical. So, but I did think he did a great job, and I do think he deserves credit for what he did, because he did a great video, and, you know, we should respect that. So yeah. I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. But yeah. Anyway, take care everyone. Hope you stay safe, and I'll see you again soon.